We ruined this jacket, okay?
Otherwise, it would have gone for a whole lot. See, you gotta understand that Alice and Olivia is super high dollar, even used. And sure enough, a few hours later, someone wanted to buy it.
Wow, that felt like such a win after like such a loss of what it was. Hi, I'm Camilla.
And I'm Kang, and we are
the FI Resellers. And today we have a video with 10 of our best sales from the past week. And these are some really good sales. We sell more than just these 10. So after we share those 10 items, we're going to share a few just kind of okay sales just to show other types of things that we sell that we don't, it's not all home runs. You know, it's not all top items. We're going to share all of our numbers from the past week, so what we make on all these different platforms. We're going to share what we do with some of that money. We talk about investing, and then we'll share a BOLO brand that came from one of our community members. That will be at the very end, so you'll want to stay tuned for that.
Okay, we're gonna start this off with a fun one. It's a pair of Lululemon cargo pants that we sold for $39.65 on eBay.
So I found out that these were the Seawall track pants, and they were a men's pair of pants. Yeah, and Lululemon men's stuff tends to do better than the women's stuff. So I had listed this, I believe, at $40. Someone came in and offered me $20, which I was like, no thanks. And so I countered at $30 and said, I have a little shortcut message that I send to buyers when they lowball me, and I say, you know, will you meet me in the middle? Thanks so much for your offer. I really appreciate your support of my small business. Countered at $24, $25, and then so I countered again at $30, and I think I said, you know, this is the lowest I would be willing to go. He countered again at $26, and I was like, so I declined, and I thought that was kind of done, you know, whatever. But then he sent a $30 offer, so I accepted it. So that's actually something I will do, is that like I'll send an offer back to a buyer, the lowest I'm willing to take, and then if they just keep coming back at me with a dollar more, whatever, I don't respond by continuing to counter like my lowest. I just decline them. It seems to me that then they come back and they realize like that's the lowest that they want to go. I just don't have the patience to like be going back and forth. So once I have sent my lowest and they counter, I just start declining.
One win for us.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We sold this North Face backpack for $49.70 on eBay.
So this was in a bag bin at the bins. They often...
It's the North Face.
Oh, sorry.
I said it wrong earlier. Okay, go ahead.
Most of the time, I don't really try to go to those bins first because they can get wild.
Yeah.
Like that is like the most aggressive bin. Like you think the shoe bin is aggressive, the purse bin is even more aggressive. I mean, I get it. Like they are worth a lot. You know, like a lot of purses are worth good money, and you know, you can fix them up and stuff, and they're good sellers. But like, I just don't know that much about purses and bags. But anyway, so I usually am like, you know, in the second round of people, you know, once kind of the diehard people have cleared out, I go in and I look around. And this is still in there. No one had picked it up. I think that there must have been some little damage on it, but not very much. I looked it up and saw that it was worth money. I figured it would be because I remember in school, like everyone had one of these North Face. Like if you were like a cool rich kid, you had like the North Face backpack. I remember knowing that they were kind of expensive originally, so I figured that this would be a good, you know, and everyone, you know, school kids always need backpacks, so.
Yeah. Next, we sold this pink dress by Lily Pulitzer for $40 on Mercari.
This was a really good sale, and it sold very quickly once I had cross-listed it. So I had it on eBay for a couple days, and then I cross-posted it to Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace. And as soon as I did that, I got a lot of attention on those other three platforms. Well, not really Facebook Marketplace, but anyway, Mercari and Poshmark. This was a really good size. It was a size 12, which was why it sold better than like offline Lily Pulitzer in like tiny sizes. But it was a good size. More women are a size 12 than they are like a size 00, so it makes more sense that thered be more demand for a Lily Pulitzer dress in that size. And it was in really nice condition, and I think that this one is just like really pretty, and it's not like too like, you know, pink and green, like kind of too dated. So I thought this was a really nice dress, and so it sold very quickly once it was cross-posted to Mercari. It listed originally at $50. I accepted this offer for $40. You know, 20% off, that's pretty good.
All right, this one I take credit for. We sold this Alice and Olivia bomber jacket for $49.55 on eBay.
Okay.
Tell them about it.
We ruined this jacket. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had gotten it and it was
definitely-
nice, but I think it maybe had some like little marks on it or something when we got it. So I put it in the wash. Well, that was like a big mistake.
Big
We
mistake.
put it in the wash. I think we must have put it in with some jeans.
It was
Because
supposed to be dry
darks.
clean only, but
Yeah.
we thought
It
"No,
was a
we're gonna
silk
try."
blazer. It was a silk blazer. I don't know what we were thinking. We must have checked like the little thing.
Yeah.
Must have just assumed. I think I assumed that it was just polyester, but it was silk. It got color bleed on it, and like there were these embroidered flowers, and it seemed like some of them were kind of coming apart. And so we had it sitting in our death pile for a really long time. Just like had no idea what to do with it because we were like, it just like. We ruined it.
Feels
like,
bad, man.
It feels
just
bad.
feels
like,
bad.
Like you take it out of the dry or out of the washer. We didn't dry it, which it didn't even really help it. I'm sure maybe it would have been better if we had just dried it, but it was just like so sad.
Otherwise, it would have gone for a whole lot. See, you gotta understand that Alice and Olivia is super high dollar, even used. If we had not ruined it even more, then it would have been probably like $100.
Yeah.
Because even with a mark, it probably would have gone for about $100. And if it was in pristine condition, more than that. And so we took a chance on it and posted it anyway to eBay for $40 plus shipping. And sure enough, a few hours later, someone wanted to buy it. And I made sure and said, hey, did you look at the description and make sure you looked at all of the pictures because this thing is messed up?
Yeah.
And she said yes. So we sent it off.
She said that she was hoping to repair it, to bring it back to life, which more power to her. I hope that she can. I hope that she's able to bring it back to life. I don't know if she's planning to keep it or sell it, but either way, good for her. Good for us too, because wow, that felt like such a win after like such a loss of what it was.
We made over $30 profit on it, so it could not have gone better.
Yeah.
Well, after the mess up on our side.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, we still sell damaged items if it's a good brand. Okay, we haven't had a sale for ties in a long time. This tie, Red Sun, really nice pattern from Fornasetti, sold for $44.40 on eBay.
Okay, this was really surprising because Kang had picked up a couple ties at, was it the Bins?
The bins.
And
Yeah, 2 Salvatore Ferragamo ones as well.
yeah, and I was really like, I don't know about these ties. Like we pick up ties occasionally. Well, I never pick up ties. Kang picks up ties. I think ties are a waste of time. I think most ties are not valuable at all. Whatever. That's just my own prejudice against them. And so I was like, oh, okay, good luck with that. Thinking that they won't sell like all of our other ties that aren't selling. And then it's over $40 like in a day. It was crazy. I was like, what is happening? And the buyer left good feedback. He was really happy that we sent it out so quickly and, happy with his purchase.
Next, we sold this maxi dress by Able the Label for $44.65 on eBay.
This one was new with tags and it sold very quickly in just about a day. I was surprised at this because, I had looked up comps and I priced it according to the comps, but I wasn't expecting it to sell so quickly. Like I had kind of assumed that this brand was just like a whatever brand, sort of like an Anthropologie sort of lower end brand. I was pretty surprised that it sold so quickly and that it sold for full price.
Next, one of the more exciting brands that we get to find here in Texas is Double D Ranch, this embroidered top, super nice. It looks so nice. Look at it. We sold it for $50 on Poshmark.
I had it listed, I think at $75, but I've had it listed for a while. And so I figured when someone came in and offered me $50, I was happy to accept. And I think I need to find what this person's name is. Yes, Rock and Roll Cowgirl. And I was like, with a username like this, she needs this top. Like, I need to have this woman get this top because like that is the perfect username for someone to buy Double D Ranch with. It just felt like serendipitous that she'd get this top. So I accepted the offer.
Yeah, so great brand, Double D Ranch, be on the lookout. We sold these wedge sandals by Papilio for $54.65 on eBay.
So these were in really nice condition. They were like almost new, it felt like. And they had this really cool, like the leather was black, but it had sort of like a purple sort of sheen to it. Almost like oil spill, I guess would be like how we describe it.
I don't know about that. It just had this metallic-ish kind of, reflection to it.
Yeah. But anyway, they were really cool. Really cool sandals. I had them listed for a couple weeks and they sold for full price and I was really excited for that. Papilio is a sub-brand under Birkenstock. It's worth about the same amount as Birkenstock depending on the style of, each one and the condition as well.
We sold this jumpsuit, and you know how we love selling jumpsuits by Young, Fabulous, and Broke, YFB, for $39.65 on eBay.
So this one, I think I maybe did underprice because it sold really quickly, like within a couple hours of me listing it, it sold quickly for full price. So I think maybe I should have priced it up maybe about $5 or $10. But I was really happy with that sale. I picked it up at $2 a day at Family Thrift Outlet. And I've never sold this brand before. I've never found it before. And so it was just kind of a confirmation that this is a brand that I should be kind of on the lookout for, especially at the bins and at Family Thrift where we're not spending that much. That was pretty good. I did look at comps and it seemed like $30 was what these jumpsuits were going for, but I don't really know.
The last thing we wanted to share was this white sweatshirt by Frank and Eileen for $49.65 on eBay.
This one was one that we picked up while we were in Colorado. This was a great sale. It sold very quickly. And when I looked up this exact sweatshirt, I found that it was being sold on Revolve. Not currently, I think it was sold out. That shows that it's kind of like more of a sought after trendy piece than some of just like the Frank and Eileen kind of plain button ups. And we only spent $6.45 on it. So that was great. It was more than what we usually spend, but in the end, it turned out to be a great sale anyway.
Okay, now it's time for some duds or things that we generally wouldn't pick up ourselves that are kind of noteworthy to talk about just in case you come across it. You need to know what not to pick up. So the first one we wanted to talk about was this Michael Kors sleeveless pink top that we sold for only $16 on Mercari.
This was actually Michael Kors, which is different than just like the regular Michael Kors. Although I'm not sure which one is like the highest brand, but I do know that this Michael Kors is the one that's often sold out like TJ Maxx. And so it's lower value. So don't be thinking like when you pick this up that it's designer. This was actually new with tags, which is the reason we picked it up. And it was in a good size, a size XL. Even with all those things going for it, it's still only sold for $16. Most of the time when we see that in the bins, we leave it behind. But since this was new with tags, that was the reason I picked it up.
Next were a bunch of items that we generally wouldn't pick up, but for whatever reason, someone bought all of these items in a bundle on Poshmark. First was this Arrow red button-up. The second thing was this American Eagle striped button-up. The next one was this New with Tag Express striped button-up. And then there was this other Express New with Tag button-up. You can see the trend. All of these are men's clothes. And lastly, this Penguin blue striped short sleeve. And we sold all of them in a bundle for $50. And we made a profit of like $20-something.
So we got almost all of those in a ThredUp men's rescue box, which we'll link up here of our unboxing of it. We got a ton of button-up shirts. And we have been very slowly trickling them out. These are not things that we would normally pick up. Any of those things that we would see in the bins, we would leave behind. So in that rescue box, we got 4 New with Tags Express button-ups, and we've sold 3 of them so far. So that is something that, you know, if you are getting it for free, you might consider listing those things.
Right.
Okay, so now it's time for our numbers. So we sold a total of 64 items for a gross revenue of $1,619.29, and our cost of goods for those 64 items was $133.99. We sold 34 items for a net profit of $611.38. So that's after fees, shipping, and cost of goods. That's how much money we made on eBay just in the past week. Poshmark, we sold 21 items for a net profit of $243.40. Mercari, we sold 6 items for $93.99. And on Facebook Marketplace, we sold only 3 items for $57.44.
Wow.
I don't know what's happening on Facebook Marketplace. We put a sale on this weekend to see. Hopefully we can get some more sales there. It seems like all of a sudden it just died on us.
Right. We'll keep trying.
We
like Facebook Marketplace enough.
Yeah, it's good when you sell things. Like, I like being able to sell things over there. But anyway, let us know how Facebook Marketplace has been for you in the past week. If you've been seeing more sales, fewer sales, if they're changing the algorithm, or what kind of other conspiracy theories you might have, let us know down in the comments.
Yeah.
So overall, our net profit from the past week was $1,006.61. So above our $1,000 goal, just by a couple dollars. But it was awesome to be able to get there and to just feel like we're making it.
Yeah, some quick thoughts about this $1,000 mark. If you want to make $52,000 a year working from home, reselling is a really good alternative. We had calculated that if you're listing about 100 items and you're selling about 50 items per week, then you would get to about 900 items, is kind of where we're at now, in about 4.5 months based on our rate currently. But that includes us having already built a store. And so we had thought, kind of extrapolating from that data, that you would get there in about 6 months. So the buffer of when you get started and how much time it takes to kind of build up, if you want to do this full time and you're kind of trying to figure out what numbers make sense, if you had about a 50% sell-through rate at $20 at the rate that we're going, that sell-through rate though is based on listed versus sold per week, not necessarily the sell-through rate of your entire closet. The $20 average profit price though is pretty normal, I think, based on clothing anyway. So if you're selling like huge dollar items, then you're obviously going to get to $1,000 much faster per week.
So the main thing would be that you would have to source 100 items a week.
That's a lot.
That would actually make you $20 of profit, which is difficult. That's the difficult part. It's not necessarily the actual listing and building of the store. The difficult part is finding and picking those items and knowing enough to be able to do that week after week. And that's the part that takes time, where you have to take the time to learn this market, to learn, what brands, what items, what kinds of things can actually get you that $20 profit. And then from there, building up the store and actually listing those items. But that kind of grunt work, that hard work of just sitting down and taking the pictures and listing the items and shipping it out, that to me, I think is the easy part. The hard part is the picking.
It takes a lot of skill, believe it or not. Thrifting and picking, that takes time and effort and learning. So it takes a lot of skill. It's something you have to build up over time. All right, now it's time for a quick update on our total stock market index experiment. We are down like $700. Crazy. Where can you lose $700 and still be totally okay with it? It's the stock market. And we are totally okay with it because in the long run, we know that we're going to do just fine. We listened to a podcast by Afford Anything with Paula Pant recently that said over a 20-year span of time, people who invested in the stock market in the long run, in the S&P 500, and in our case, really, the total stock market index is essentially the same thing. You never have lost money in that span of time. At any given point, if you invested in the S&P 500 over 20 years, you still made money. And so whatever that means, whether it be a little bit or a lot, it essentially tells us that it's going to be just fine. Now, can we say for sure that the next 20 years are going to be okay or, perfect? No. Considering what's going on now, things are not going to be perfect. But when you look at the past 20 years, things are not perfect either, right? And so it is never a great time to try to jump in and out of the market. Essentially, what we're saying is that in the pockets of time that have been bad in the past, whether there have been wars or recessions or bubbles that bursted, those times have been followed by at least an increase to the point where you still make money. We'll link to Paula Pant's podcast down below where she talks about stocks in general. It's a really great introduction to stocks if you're interested in learning about it and the concept of stocks and trading and all of that. But overall, great for pretty much anyone. We have been dabbling with stocks and index funds for a long time, and even we enjoyed it. So great overall. We would love it if you listen to it and maybe have a discussion with us down in the comments. So that's all we have for you with regard to this and financial independence. Hopefully that spurs some action on your part so that you can take action and make your lives better and make your money make you money.
So our community BOLO brand this week is Sitka, and a viewer named Sue commented on one of our latest videos.
Thanks, Sue.
About this brand, and she said that it often will sell close to its retail price, even used. So that is amazing, and so you definitely want to be on the lookout for this brand. We'll pop up some comps on the screen, but it's a hunting kind of outdoor brand, and you can see that they have lots of camo items, and they are doing really well. And I would expect that they sell pretty quickly too. It looks like there's a good demand out there for those items.
Pretty much anything from this brand you should be on the lookout for. Search it up, look at the comps as always, and make sure you have an open mind with I guess, these types of recreational things that you might not otherwise look up.
So we always read all of your comments, and thank you so much, Sue, for commenting that to us and letting us know about this brand. This is something we will definitely be on the lookout for in the future. We would love to feature one of you in our next video as our community BOLO, so you can send that in to us via an Instagram DM. You can leave a comment, but if you want to feature a specific item, the best way to get in touch with us is by an Instagram DM. Send us a screenshot of the item that you sold that sold really well, and a little description about it. And we would love to have as many features as possible. So leave a comment down below of how your sales have been going this week. Are you having a good sales week or kind of a so-so sales week? We'd love to hear from you. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. We would love to have you as part of our community here.
Yeah. All right. Keep that passion burning, y'all. We are so encouraged by our sales, and we hope that despite the turmoil that is going on in this world, that you guys are doing well, that your sales are doing well, and that, if you need to, you're making pivots like we have in the past. It really comes with time and practice, and it does take some skill. So we're rooting for you. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Next, we saw this Lily Pulitzer pink dress by Lily Pulitzer. Okay, here we go. This tie, red sun, really nice pattern.
And so I was like, oh, okay, good luck with that. Thinking that they won't sell like all of our other ties that aren't selling. And then it's over $40 like in a day. It was crazy.
Another win for me.
Yeah. I know, so 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, crazy. What does this world come to?
I know, upside down. Backwards.
Okay, well, all right.